Hello BookTube, Sarah here, and welcome to my November 2016 TBR. This is also going to encompass my hashtag nonfiction November 2016 TBR, because the bulk of the books that I plan on reading this month are for nonfiction November. So, in the effort to save time, because it is 8:45 and I have to leave for work in like 20 minutes and I haven't even made my lunch yet, I wanted to sit down and film this video because I totally planned on filming it last night when I got home. But I was so tired, so I'm going to do it now. Anyway, let's jump right into my picks for nonfiction November first of all. For those of you who don't know what it is a read-along, essentially, hosted by Olive over at Book Olive and Gemma from Nonfic Books. I participated in this last year and really enjoyed it and was thoroughly excited about doing it again this year. I'm super excited they're bringing it back. So, the way the challenge works is they gave you 4 words, and you can use those words however you see fit to fit the book that you plan on reading, but it does have to be a nonfiction book. So let's jump right in and get started. So the very first word is new. Again, interpret it any way you want. I interpreted it as a new book, and the book that I picked is Bellevue by David Oshinsky. It's a history of America's oldest hospital, so essentially a history of Bellevue Hospital in New York City, which is a mental institute. I talked about this book very briefly when I did my Alice in Wonderland book tag last week, and I saw this come up, and it's not even being released till November 15th, so I'm super excited. I do have it on pre-order, so as soon as it comes in, I can start reading it, and I can't wait. So the next word is controversial, and the book I picked for that is A Storm of Witchcraft by Emerson W. Baker. There have been a plethora of books written about the Salem witch trials, but this one had really high ratings on Goodreads, and I was able to get it on Audible, so this will be the book that I listen to this month. Controversial witch trials, I'd say they go hand in hand. I mean, still to this day, there's a lot of controversy surrounding that period of time. And I just started listening to the book yesterday in the car on my way to work, and already I picked up like this really interesting tidbit. And currently, in the United States, there are something like 30 to 50 million descendants of people from the Salem witch trials, whether it be the accused, the accusers, the jurors. You know, pretty much everybody knows somebody who can trace their lineage back to someone in Salem in 1692. Like, that's fascinating to me. And they listed some of the people that can be traced back, and Sarah Jessica Parker is one, George W. Bush is another, and who was the third? Oh, Prince William, of all people. Now, whether that's, I mean, it's a nonfiction book, the guy had to have probably looked at his facts, but super interesting. The next word is important, and the book I actually picked for this, you guys might get a little giggle out of it, is called Chop Suey, A Cultural History of Chinese Food in the United States by Andrew Ko. Food is important as far as I'm concerned, and learning about other people's cultures are very important as well. So that's why I picked that book. I have already started it. This is actually a book that I picked to read for summer book bingo, but I never got around to it, so I'm very happy I get to read it now. And last but not least is fascinating. So essentially I picked this as a book that I really want to read, like a fascinating book. And the book that I picked is The Devil in the White City, Murder, Magic, and Madness at the Fair That Changed America by Eric Larson. Now, I have heard, and I thought that this was fiction, but it turns out it's nonfiction, and they say it reads like fiction, and essentially it's about a serial killer at the World's Fair, I think in Chicago in the 1800s, so this one I'm really looking forward to. So, those are all my picks for nonfiction November. But it's only really 4 books, 3 if you don't count the audiobook, which I just listened to throughout the whole month. So typically I like to pick at least 8 books to actually read and 1 to listen to. But because some of these books are going to be a little heavier than what I'm used to reading, I'm only going to pick 3 more books, so a total of 6 for the month. So I decided to go to the other end of the spectrum and really have some fun with my more fluffy, enjoyable romance. So the first book is Sacred Evil by Heather Graham. It's the 3rd book in the Crew of Hunter series. Sorry about the vehicles outside. They are supposed to take it slow in here because there are kids in the neighborhood, but whatever. I am attempting to read through the entire Crew of Hunter series 1 book at a time, like 1 book per month. And so this month, Sacred Evil, and this book is about a woman who is found murdered in one of New York City's largest cemeteries. And it says at the back, it's something about the killer is recreating Jack the Ripper's work. So it sounds very interesting, and that's my cat, so I do apologize. I would pick him up, but again, I'm dressed for work and I don't want to get covered in cat fur. Gorn, please. This just goes to prove that I do not edit, guys. The next book on my list is Her Naughty Holiday by Tiffany Rees. This is the second book in the Men at Work series. I read the first book in October, and oh my gosh, guys, I will be doing my October wrap-up in the next week. I loved this book. I mean, it was so fantastic. Again, I will talk more about it in my October wrap-up, but this is the second book, and it's essentially the fake boyfriend trope for romance novels, where, you know, the girl is pretty much being bothered by her family about not having a boyfriend, so she invents this guy to be her boyfriend to Thanksgiving dinner, and hijinks ensue, I'm sure. So I'm really looking forward to this one. And the last one, I just pulled one off of my TBR, and this one I've been wanting to read for a while. I've owned it for well over a year. And it's called The Ballad of Emma O'Toole by Elizabeth Lane. This is a Harlequin historical novel. It takes place in the American West. And for two reasons I bought this book. One, I love the title. I don't know what it is. It just sounds fantastic. I didn't even read what it was about until I was getting ready to film this video and made all my notes. And when I read what it was about, I thought, how fun. And also, the cover is just stunning. I just love these covers. But anyway, so what this book is about, it's the guy. He shoots her sweetheart. Now, they don't say it's her husband, but she's pregnant. So when it goes to trial, he's being told that he can either, I think, be hung, or he has to marry her. So, you know. And I guess some newspaper man, reporter, gets wind of her story and writes a song about her in the paper, hence the name The Ballad of MO O'Toole, and it appears all over the US, and all these people are wondering now what she's going to do. So I don't know, it just sounds like a lot of fun, and it'll be a really quick and easy read. So anyway, guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these books, or if any of these books sound interesting to you. Or are you participating in Nonfiction November? I am scouring BookTube looking for other booktubers who are doing this, because I really want to see what other people plan on reading for Nonfiction November. So anyway, guys, until my next video, take care and happy reading. Bye.